Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, family?
I started a very long wiki red candle appeared earlier.
Excuse me. Hold on, give me a second. All right, what's going on? I'm back. Let me know if my the piano in the background is too loud. All right, let's go take a look at the book. Let me close this door. Hold on. All right, y'all. My bad. Full house today. Let's see what I want. What's going on, Greedy? Nah, we call my uncle Cheech. We call my uncle Cheech because I guess in the 70s or whatever, maybe 80s or something, he was going to, it was like the 70s, he was in high school. And he had his prom. He decided he's going to perm his hair for prom. You know, the big, like, afro perms back in the day. The man's been losing his hair since high school. So he's just got this big ass flap that he combs over to the other side. He looks like Cheech from Cheech and Chong. We've been calling him Cheech since I was a kid. Uncle Cheech. Only bald man in my family. And he did it to himself. Nice. I gotta take a trip to the beach myself, bro. Honestly. All right, so let's go back to action this morning. This is what happens when you have somebody with too much money and not enough experience trying to sell a bag. Remember how we always talk about how people with a good sized bag can't just buy and sell all at one time because it'll wreck them? Example A. I'm gonna have to dig out. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to dig out what the exact order was. I'll check online on chain, but that's somebody that pressed the sell button with way too big a bag. And he got filled there, all the way down. All the way down. And then he got back up. I just hope he took a short. I hope he opened the short position before he did that and it was intentional, because if not, that is some Olympic level slippage. Appreciate you, Neve. Yeah, it's pinned in general tweak. There's another version coming out. I really got to figure out what's going on with trading view in my indicators though. I mean, I took everything out that mentioned the group at all. Could they consider it shilling because it says free, but it's part of a suite of indicators? I'm just trying to figure out what the hell they've got an issue with because that's the most vanilla description for that indicator. If you look, I don't say anything there that I'm starting to take it personal though. Probably just because I haven't finished my coffee. Feel targeted. So we had a little addition to the Discord yesterday. Well, it's what I've been talking to y'all about for a couple weeks now. I wired up our sentries. These are going to be used to protect us against scam coins, rug pulls, phishing links, all the nasty stuff, or at least as close to protection as we can get. Right? There's new shit every single day, and the newer links probably won't pop up. But for mods, because I know we're always like looking at links, trying to figure out what the hell when somebody posts something. But if you use that link checker, it'll let you know right away if there's any keyloggers or anything, a double site on there, or any sort of exploits. You should still not click on anything, guys. This is just you know, I've gotten to the point where I literally don't click on any links at all. But we're getting to the bottom of the market, right? So that means we're going to be playing with DeFi. You guys are going to be connecting your wallets to a bunch of DeFi stuff. So it's just some tools to make sure that you're safe. Check your wallet, make sure that nothing has permissions to your wallet that you don't want to have permissions. Be able to follow some whale wallets in and out of positions. Being able to double check some dev wallets to see if they've been part of rug pulls before, that type of shit. I have no idea. It's cool, but I'm gonna try to talk to a human. It's very difficult to do nowadays. Way easier said than done, but I'm gonna attempt it. Let's go, man. Let's get this Green July over with. Alt should be pushing nicely with Bitcoin holding that ground. All right, let me see. I fell asleep last night and I didn't even check if those rooms are all open or not. Are all the Sentinel rooms open? Yeah, those are there. And do you see the how to use scanner? Okay, all right, good. I see Ghost try to. So what you do is you press scan, and then then the pop up is gonna pop up, and that's where you put the information inside of the pop up. Yeah, some people try to use it, but they didn't. We're gonna have a small like AI class today, and I'll go exactly how to use it. What do you mean? Um they should be on all of them. I don't think there's anything you guys have to download independently, is there? Huh. All right. Let me look into it and see if there's any a step that I need to add to the instructions. No, you shouldn't have to. It says no, there's nothing to install or authorize on their end since the bot's already in the server. The right permissions, anybody can use the links. No account linking, no separate app, no sign up. Okay, there is one thing. It says the slash watch and the slash follow wallet alerts arrive as DMs for the bot from the bot in your personal DMs. If a member has tightened their Discord privacy settings to block DMs from server members, that alert will silently fail to reach them. So if you set up a watch and you never got an alert, then check your privacy settings to make sure that you can receive messages from server members. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll run through it. We'll run it through its paces. It is interesting that we did all that and didn't free the trap shorts completely. Looks like we took both sides, like we were talking about, you man.
Yeah, the other day.
In one candle.
Actually, that pissed me off because I had a sell order down there in my short, and it didn't hit it.
Oh, that sucks.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm thinking about just closing it and saying screw it. I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's what it is, Scoop, because it's a public app, right? So anybody can add that, but I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Claude says that you shouldn't have to add anything, but I see what you're talking about.
I mean, it hasn't untrapped the short, though. I didn't go through them.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I saw. I wonder who that was, man. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see the reaction on their face.
Yeah, it's strange how it just got bought up and went right back up, and it's kind of timely where he sold. Look at it.
Nah, yeah, that I would want to sell there too. you know? But somebody needs to learn how to break their orders up. That's what we always talk about, how big money isn't always smart money, you know? Like for all we know, that could be new money. Or somebody who's never tried to get out of position that big. Yeah, I saw I didn't see the tape, but I saw the orders on that candle. This is why I'm saying that I think it's slippage, because look at the I'll show you how I break it down to whether it's slippage or not, right? Look at the size of the cells. 6 Bitcoin, 5 Bitcoin, 7 Bitcoin, 15 Bitcoin. Drop price like that? No. If that's the case, you would see one sell and then you would see zeros and zeros, and but there's no way in hell that people lined up to sell double digit Bitcoin on market, one right after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. In my opinion, that's one order that got filled at those different levels, right? In the beginning, it was light, right? You flip through the first couple ones really lightly, and then you started getting to the chunk of the orders on the book. And I mean, it's double digits all the way down. This is where the biggest chunk of his filled. Right? Unless you're going to tell me that you think that several whales decided to sell the bottom of the peak at over 20, 30, 50 Bitcoin, 50, 47 Bitcoin, 58 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, 34 Bitcoin, just YOLO'd into the bottom of this candle, 89, 58. Nah, I don't buy it. Somebody fat fingered that shit. In the worst way. Yeah, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe he misread the book and thought that there was enough liquidity there. The only way I would understand it if there was a large, like couple thousand buy order underneath that it thought that it could fill, but there was really nothing there. I mean, sold into dead air. And then obviously after surviving something like that, sentiment is going to take a bit of a bump up. Yeah, the grid they didn't even get to the grid. Too much money, man. Sometimes you just got to boil things down to too much money. It's a perfect example of what I was talking about yesterday. There's nothing in the world that you can do to predict somebody with too much money doing something stupid. Okay, I see what you're saying, Scoop.
I mean, who bought that wick up though? Was it the algo?
Standing orders, bunch of standing orders, market maker catching price. Remember, market maker doesn't like big imbalances like that. You can almost see their face like when somebody does something stupid and they're like, ugh, who's this guy? But yeah, balance was restored rather quickly, let's say. Another way I can tell you that it's one person, look at the 5-minute chart. Look at the 1-minute chart. It's a 1-minute candle. Look at a 15-second chart. Anytime now. That's two 15-second candles. One 30-second candle. That was not a group of people. All right, it was me. I was tired. I woke up in the morning. I just pressed the wrong button. That would be hilarious, though. If I got on here and was like, I know exactly what this idiot did. And then I just showed you my transaction.
No, it sounds
Nah,
like it never did.
definitely was not me.
Basically back to where you did it at. So
Mistakes were made. It's not a good feeling, man. You dump off that much Bitcoin, price recovers. You're at a point where you can't even buy back the Bitcoin that you dumped without it being at a loss.
Maybe he knows something we don't. Insider.
Well, it definitely isn't how the iceberg orders. That's one thing. The only reason to do something like that on purpose is to start a cascade of capitulation. If that was the case, then he really underestimated the position that we were at to do that. All you did was send it back to the bottom of the range. Bottom of the range, top of the range.
Well, if that's the case and it's so strong down there, you should just go ahead and start buying and cause a pump.
Good luck. What it tells me is the next time the price comes down into this level, there'll be nothing in this range.
What do you mean nothing?
Like all those orders got picked up on that move. Like that would have cleared the book.
So if we dump, we're going straight down.
It should be an easier path down, yeah, because you've already sort of knocked loose the orders that were sitting there. It's possible, but I haven't looked into the news, but there could be somebody that sold off. It could be a project or something that's sold off. I literally haven't even opened up Twitter today. But yeah, somebody could have named the devil by now. You know how Twitter is. Bunch of Twitter detectives.
Man, well, I'm kind of annoyed because I was live going through it. And I felt like it was going to continue.
No, I hear you. I mean, luckily, after a minute, you know, at least it didn't last for a long time.
Well, I was short. I wanted it to continue.
No, I hear you. Very strong little range that we're in here, man. On the big scale of things, though, and if you look at the 4 hour, not really a whole hell of a lot going on. We did create a large order block there from that move, or at least dipped into an old order block, which would probably make sense. Dropped from here, right? You left standing orders. Prices come back once, twice into those orders and dumped off. So the same way that we were talking about down here, there should be little, there should be less to hold price. The more we bump into this order block, the less orders are going to be there. Eventually it'll pop. Eventually you get to our base case. On higher time frames, that whole thing from here all the way to our base case is just one large order block.
Yeah, I kind of like the middle case.
I hear you, but we have to play the chart that we see, not the one we want. And right now, this W pattern is looking very healthy and consolidating at the breakout. we're also at the top of our bullish channel. Yeah. So it's the top of the W and the top of the channel.
That is true.
Yeah, I think so too. Greedy, this thing's gonna go.
You know, my stop loss needs to go.
A real reset to the 40s would be great after we get this relief rally done. Yeah.
64,750.
Some people would be drawing a cup and handle up here. It doesn't make a difference. W, same shit. If you got the W drawn up, then you've got it covered. Didn't quite hit a 382 on that though. But I don't think it's gonna matter. See how it bounced off the order block underneath? Bounced off the top order block, filled orders on the bottom order block, back to the top order block, big slippage. Tons of cash sitting here. And you're breaking out of the range. My money's sitting on retesting 70. I'm a bear. I'm a greedy bear. Which means when we go down, I want the most amount of people on board with the fact that this is going down. Which means that I need people's spirit to be broken respectfully. And the best way to break spirit of the bulls here is to take us to 70 and reject. You need a big, not like undeniable rejection off a major psychological level. For me, that's 70. It's not like I want people to suffer. The reason I say that we need to break the spirit is because we don't want hesitation on the way down. You know what I mean? Like I want, when it drops, I want it to drop. Everybody to be on the same board, just have that shit drop to a rock so we can get down our levels and start loading up. But for that, you need to take people off of, you need to pull people off the sidelines, get everybody on the same page. Well, our Labubu target, right? We've had these drawn out since we hit bottom. Our base case is that rejection off of 65, right? The bull case is the rejection off of 70. If we get speed, remember velocity is what's going to make the difference about which top we catch. If we can get speed, then we can get our Labubu case. Right? Labubu case is 74. And that's just if shit gets like irrationally euphoric. And that would be a retest of the flag that we broke. Right? That's my highest level. Grab all of those vectors all the way up, retest the bottom of that flag, and roll over. But that's going to have to, like I said, speed is going to be important there. That needs to happen quick. we can't spend weeks on each one of these sort of levels, right? We're already halfway through the month, just short of halfway through the month. And one of these weeks is a downturn, right? This next week we're going into is a downturn on global liquidity. So that basically pulls 1 week out of that. So speed is going to have the determining factor here, in my opinion.
You said the global money flow is going down right now.
Yeah, this week there's a downturn, small downturn, and then the one pop that I think takes ES to all-time highs on the 22nd. From the 22nd to the end of the month, it's uptrends.
Damn, look at that.
Perfect little hit off the 200 EMA on the 15-minute for that work.
That's too perfect.
Mm-hmm. You really want to boil it down to what we've got. Real symmetrical at the top of the range. With a tiny hint of bearish channel.
Mm. It's funny how
Entirely
that
way too 50-50 though. To, like I said, it still sits bullish, in my opinion.
it's funny how the whale cell gives the touch to the bottom of it.
Hmm?
That whale cell gives a touch to the bottom.
Yeah, no, right. So let's draw our fractals and just we'll respect the fractal while we're bullish. Which in my opinion, we are. You could say that this invalidated the W with that wick, but I'm not counting that as an invalidation. That's an anomaly, in my opinion. And that's going to be subjective. If you want to count that as an invalidation, you wouldn't be wrong.
Oh,
But I'm
damn.
going to err on the side of caution. That would push us back into those order blocks that caused the original dip. My opinion, only thing that's going to settle this down is in half an hour when that psychological range starts to come in. Psychological range starts to come in, we should get a move down. Remember, market makers in control, he's going to want to put that psychological range between the trap longs and trap shorts. So we'll see within the next hour who's really running the show here. Once the psychological ranges come in and start to settle, we're going to duck down for a quick AI class. This is going to be short, though. I just want to run you guys through how to use the Sentinel. And go over like one other thing. If you were here last night, you got to see a couple videos, just a preview of what the Sentinel does, but we'll replay it today. Let's go take a look at the totals. Want you guys to pay attention to these massive gaps underneath totals. Look at where we're at. Right? Look at the reaction that we had when we broke the levels. Look at what we're bouncing off of. And look at what happens if we lose those lows. Just in case anybody's not familiar with what happens when you fall through these gaps. 1010 was a gap fill. What stopped Bitcoin's price on 1010, right? Or totals, I should say, was that high volume node. Then what did we do? We went up, we retested the volume node that we broke, right? Rejected, held support off the bottom node, put in a lower high, capitulated, held up. When it finally broke, what happened? Right? Quick move. Quick move through the gap. It's exactly what we're doing now. So if you're a bull, what you want to see is price move up through these high volume nodes and end up holding this as support. If you're a bear, all you're waiting to see is what's happened every single time. We retest and we drop.
Well, the common eye shows me here that the volume is a lot lower to the bottom.
Total 2. Total 2. Total 3. Others. Right. Days like this, it's good to remember the macro. Oh, shit. Mhm. We're going to have a deep dive today on Bitcoin. Some of the new advancements with the, or some of the new, I guess I should say, pushes that we're making. Trump's been talking real heavy crypto lately, and I think there's a reason for it. So we're going to dip into that. He's got some clicking on their mic. Jonesy, you got an open mic, brother.
Oh shit! I got a new phone and I didn't initiate the push to talk yet.
You're good, brother. Don't worry about it.
I'm driving, so I'm just gonna end this and come back later.
All right.
Later.
Take it easy, bro. Rip it. Part of me wants to see a new trap long put in before the psychological ranges come in. Just because I feel like there's too much like the bullishness. You need to let the steam out. So let them run. Probably move this up a little bit. right, give me a second. I'll be right back.
Do your job, market maker.
I'm back, y'all. What I was saying is that overbought and oversold are myths. There's no such thing. Yeah, no bucks. It wasn't through lack of effort, right? They tried to break this range earlier, but or I'm actually giving him more benefit than I should. Let's assume that was done on purpose. If you could explain to me what an inverted RSI means, Def, then I will explain that to help traders. Yes. Explain to me how an RSI gets inverted. What's going on, Ax? Good, brother. Good. Just living the dream, you know? No, we're just sitting here chilling. Another thing that's important to remember, High Def, is that consolidation settles RSIs. Right? Price doesn't have to drop to reset an RSI. Just like price doesn't have to go up to reset an RSI either, right? Why does the camera look so dark? It's bright as hell in this office. It's because I don't have the backlight on, I guess. Yeah, for real. Camera's like, nah, we vibing today. I mean, CME is running right through the middle of this weekend trap. So we haven't diverted too far from, regular weekend price action, but if you got a chance to bring one back, but you had to pick between CME and Powell, what would you pick?
CME.
How dare you? I'm enjoying not having CME because we still have the edge, but it's a sharper edge. Meaning, Everybody else that thought they had it all figured out is now sort of floating in the wind. The smaller people that hold the edge, the less amount of people that hold the edge you have, the more money there is in it. CME was cool, but I mean, at the end of the day, everybody already had that shit figured out for the most part. I feel bad for people that just came in, learned CME just to have it change. But like I said, as long as you're here, you're in the right place. I think we're not gonna let this thing. I'm not gonna let this thing beat us. I'd say I've got this new swing down probably about 40% so far. Yeah, it's a lot of people, Bucks. I know. But just, remember, like, you still have an edge over people who don't understand how this shit works. And now you have even more of an edge over people who think that because CME is gone, that none of this shit counts anymore. We've seen like evidence to the opposite lately. You know. So I said that Cypher School is going to be like a living document, right? Cypher School is never going to be like a static course that's unchanging, because as the market changes, right? Like the next Cypher School that we give, we have to when we talk about the weekly cycle, right? It'll be different than it was this time. Luckily, we were still in class when all this happened, and we managed to cover the new, dynamic and all that. But by the next time we have Cypher School, we would have had enough data points to really boil down exactly what the probabilities are over the weekend. But I've been comfortable so far. I expected a lot more volatility. We get a little bit of that on Fridays, right? Fridays have been more volatile than usual, but nah, this first class, you guys are definitely the crash test dummies. We all are figuring that out together. I want to do it as soon as psychological ranges come in, which should be very soon here. Let me put out a message. 5:30, 6 o'clock sound good? How did I do? I just click on another person's Discord. Okay. Yeah, it's cool, and I'll probably re-show it during the day. I mean, I wanna let YouTube know too what's going on and everything. So yeah, we'll end up re-showing it. It'll be a long day, so you're not gonna miss much. I wanted to have the class real quick just because I've had a couple questions on DMs about some of the setups. So want to answer some questions over the last stuff that we've been going over, the prompt packs. Make sure everybody's on point with that. Nobody needs any help. And then I want to intro the Sentinel group and sort of explain how to use it. All right, I put out the message. Just a quick class, like I said, voluntary, no new prompts today. Just question and answer and how to use the Sentinel. Yeah, I'm waiting for this to be done, right? At the end of July is when I expect it. We had that red June. We saw that every July during the bear market after a red June has been green, right? So we're running long into this July. But yeah, also we saw after every green July is the final capitulation that brings you down to the next level. So we shall see. Price action was so dead last night, but it was like 20 people in here. RC, what's good, bro? If you want my opinion, some dun with too much money and not enough experience. Thought that he could just sell his entire bag at the top without screwing himself on slippage and learned a valuable lesson. Your power's out, Ann? Oh, I know those feels. I told y'all the other day we paid the those tree people to cut down that tree in the neighbor's yard that was messing with the lights. Well, I had them come over to my house and sort of do some preemptive stuff because I got a big avocado tree and mango tree that we're really close to. Yeah, either a newbie whale or somebody who was aggressively trying to start a cascade and then nobody joined. You know, someone jumps out there and is like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, right? Right, guys." They turn around behind and there's nobody there, just standing by themselves. So, I understand that you learned 2 new words lately, bro, but you gotta like dig a little bit deeper. I don't like them at all, Jojo. That's why you'll notice that inside of the weekend trap, you don't really see me draw too many patterns. They just have a really low probability of playing out. Unless the measured move doesn't free one side or the other, then it's different, right? But if you've got a measured move that takes you out beyond one trap or the other, um, pretty low chance that it plays out. Yeah, just the algos aren't really. The algos are set to keep balance right now, right? They're not really set to make moves, which means that people would have to do it. So that means that volume has to be abnormally high, and we just don't have that right now. RC, yeah, there's a bunch of different ways. If you go to the WAP link, there's a couple different ways to pay. 15 minutes to class. It's gonna be a short one, YouTube. So we're not gonna be offline long. Yeah, I see all of that's in there. You've got like 10 chapters to catch up on, but all of that, it's all saved. Our very last chapter is gonna be a review where we go over the entire course from beginning to end and wrap it all up with a nice bow. Nah, thank you, bro. Appreciate your support. That I can't promise you. So some of the chapters have taken 3 classes. But yeah, I do have to since this is the first semester, right? Like I have no problem just staying on a chapter until everybody's comfortable. But yeah, in the future, there'll have to be a time limit. As of right now, the entire semester, by the time we're done, is probably going to end up being a 6-month semester. That's like a real semester in college. This isn't like you know, a PDF course that you can ingest over the weekend. If I could take 14 years and wrap it into a 30-minute video that will tell you everything you needed to know, I would 1000% do it. But that's impossible. No, you don't want the full 17. You don't want the full 16, 17. 3 or 4 of those years, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It's better we leave those out. But nah, some of that is in the psychology, right? Some of that's in the psychology chapter. All of those pitfalls, all the same mistakes and dumb decisions and euphoric, depressive moves and all that shit. I've done it all. Yeah, I had to change that on TradingView too because it's actually 16. I sat down and I did the math. What's going on, Issa? Oh, nice. Too much cake and ice cream, hopefully. I'm good. We're about to do AI class in a couple minutes. Not really class, just a question and answer real quick, and then I want to introduce the Cypher Sentinel thing. Oh, you were at the adult table at the kids' party. This is the favorite. That's my favorite table. Oh, we did not retrap short, surprisingly enough. Nah, the adult table is lit. You hear people complain about their kids. What's going on, Priya? Mhm. It's hard to give over the reins. I just finished fixing all the permissions on their scoop. It might have been a permission problem. We're gonna do it live right now in class, so I'll walk y'all through it. It's about time now. All right. So let's meet down in the auditorium. YouTube, we'll be back like half an hour, if that. Our psychological ranges are about to start to pop in now, which means we're probably going to end up coming back down into the weekend trap. So, unfortunately, Probably gonna go into a bit of a dead space here. Unless we get some volume in. Market maker is notorious for killing price action while we're in class though, so we'll see. All right. We will be back, y'all. Discord. I will meet you in the auditorium.